Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Sorry I did not do a breakdown for game 2 as well as making any other videos. I was not feeling so well, but I am back, and today I'm going to do a game 3 breakdown of mostly the highlights. I'm going to keep it a little shorter than the first game breakdown, but yeah, so here's my quick thoughts on game 2. Just like game 1, the Kings did not come out strong. They played a better period as far as defense, but the Oilers still came out hitting, finished all their checks. They punished the Kings for all their mistakes, and they just kept hammering, constantly. I forget how long it took, but it was a long time before the Kings got their first shot on goal, and I believe they left the period with single digits, and that's unfortunately not good. I credit the Oilers. They did a phenomenal job, and I said it going back to last year, even the last playoffs. The Oilers, once they start hitting the Kings, like really finishing all their checks and hammering them into the boards and everything, the Oilers can win. Honestly, they're one of those teams that they outsize the Kings. They play harder as far as I'm not going to say compete level, but like putting in the effort as far as game starts, and it showed. They got onto the power plays. They get the goals in the first period. They had the better starts in both games, and the Kings struggled to keep up. And just like any other team, it's hard to play from behind, and I think the Kings failed to do that in game 2. So in the end, we still held McDavid off the score sheet as far as goals, but he still got assists. Drysdale still led the way, of course. He seems to be the player of the playoff, at least the playoff series for the Kings and Oilers so far. But we'll see what happens in game 3, going forward. But as far as game 2 is concerned, I felt like the Kings did do better than the first game, but they also did not keep up the effort throughout the entire 60 minutes. On contrary to what other people believe, I don't think the Kings played a 60-minute game. I really don't. I don't think they were there in the first period. Second period, they're starting to wake up, find their legs, but it wasn't there. And then third period's, whatever. So that's my thoughts on game 2. I thought the Oilers really did deserve to win, and they did. And it was a score of 4-2. So that's that. But moving on to game 3, now the Kings are at home ice. Awesome. I missed the first half of the first period, but I did catch the second half, and as far as what I saw, it was really good. The Kings, they got power play chances, they got some opportunities to score, and they did. They ended up getting the first period goal, and so let's take a look at that real quick, because I want to just briefly go over a breakdown of the game. And here's Iafallo's goal. The Kings like to work the boards. This is almost the end of the first period. Kings style work the boards. Iafallo, is down there with Kopi. They get it out, swing it around the boards. Myroy shoots it in quick. Iafallo with the, it's a broken play, but he picks up the change on the just in front of the crease, and he gets the goal. It's the end of the period. You gotta put in the effort. It's never over until the period ends, and I felt like the Kings definitely pushed the effort right there. I believe Kopi was supposed to go off on a change, but he stayed on the ice to make this play happen. And, so they put in the effort right there. I mean, not my favorite kind of board battle, but, it worked. And Roy getting the shot on net real fast, that's the key. Honestly, the Kings suck at getting loose change in front of the net, and this is one of those goals that I think we got lucky on. But at the same time, a lot of skill. Good job for Iafallo to get to the front net and get the goal. So that was really good for him. He's actually emerging as one of the better players in the playoffs, and I think that's really strong for us, because as probably like a second, third liner type player, he definitely needs to get on the board in the playoffs. And having him score here to get the first goal for the Kings' first lead in the series, that was huge. And yeah, going into the second period with the lead, who wouldn't want that? But just real quick, going throughout the game, I know you guys are probably wondering my opinion on it as well, but yes, there's a lot of controversial plays, penalties, and all that stuff in the game. I'm not going to go into too much detail about the penalties, but I do say that, you know, what happens happens. The referees are there for a reason. They're professionals. It's their job to make these calls, and you know, whatever they say, that's, you guys have to live with it. I have to live with it, and there's nothing we can do to change it. And no matter how much I can say, like, well, it should have been this way, it should have been that way, it is what it is. And some of these calls went for the Kings, some of these calls went for the Oilers. Honestly, I'm happy with the way the game was called as far as, you know, the results. However, there were some that I felt like, okay, maybe the referees need to take charge more. They need to, you know, crack down either on the penalties or let things go and let everything, you know, similar to that, you know, just go. Just let the guys play, and, you know, make sure that you're getting everything consistent. Because if you're not consistent, then that's where people will have issues. I know Oilers fans are probably mad about a lot of things. I mean, as a Kings fan, I'm upset about a few things too. So either way, you know, someone's going to be mad and people are going to be happy. That's just how it is. So let's just move on to the next period. And so McDavid ends up getting a goal himself, his first of the playoffs. And we will take a look at that right now. Let's just look at this real quick. Okay. So Oilers on the power play. You know, they work it around. Honestly, I can't say enough how much McDavid works it, and then he just, you know, gets a snipe. It's a just straight up snipe. It's what we expect from McDavid. It's what he's been seeing all season. It's just an incredible shot. Far side shot. I honestly was jumping, like, I was like, wow, that was incredible. Just a simple pass. McDavid will do the work. Pull and shoot. It was clean. Did not hit Roy's stick. It just went far side and in. That is one of the more beautiful snipes I've seen from him, and that was just wild. I mean, I was just giving him praise for that shot the entire time that I was watching it. And then it wasn't that long later that he did it again. And Kings also, you know, they also got the Oilers on the power play. And here we go, working around again. Here's McDavid waiting for his chance, moves in, snipes, boom, awesome shot again. Once again, I was like, wow, just screaming out loud, like, that was incredible. I was kind of cheering for it, like, that was just a great shot. You know, I can't say anything more. You know, no one can deny it. That was just amazing. And first shot was far side, this time was short side. Both picked the corners and the top, and, you know, that's just a amazing hockey shot. Can't say more about that. Then we move on to the next goal. Kings get on the power play, and honestly, this one came out of nowhere for me. Doughty sets up the power play, drops it to Arvidsson, shoots it from behind the Kings' blue line for Kempe to one-time slap shot that into the net. That was an incredible goal. That was a set play that I have not seen, I think, all season from the Kings. And that's because Kempe, the guy who was first into the zone, is usually where Arvidsson is now. Arvidsson shoots it down, hits the boards, one-timer. Skinner doesn't see it coming. And credit to Kempe, great shot. I mean, one-timers are hard to control, and yet it went perfectly. It went in perfectly. That was just a beautiful shot. And I think credit to Arvidsson and Kempe, because they probably came up with that. You know, it's like I said, Kempe's usually the guy who's back, but Arvidsson switched positions with him, and instead he set up the play. So that was just, you know, well thought, well planned, and the Kings, you know, they tied it up. So it was a good power play goal. And then going into overtime, this is where things get dicey, and obviously the you know, we know what happened. If you guys watched the game, you know what happened. So here, Kings are on the power play again. You know, and there's a lot of undisciplined penalties. The controversial play just happened right there, Velarde. But the play continues, and you just got to keep playing the game. Kings still working around the power play. Oilers are aggressive, which is great. I think that's a great PK setup. But Velarde gets loose. Moore gets the pass from Velarde and one times it in. And Kings win in overtime. And regardless of the controversial play, I felt like both teams were playing hard. I felt like this was a really good game. And honestly, credit to the Oilers. They played a really strong game, but undisciplined penalties honestly cost the team to lose. And Kings come up on top. There's a tap in right there. And this is something that I've been hounding these guys on. So right now on the power play, if we go back real quick, we can see the players. So we got Byfield, we got Moore, Velarde, and I believe that's Arvidsson right now, right? Yeah, so Arvidsson goes off. So these guys, all these guys on the ice right now. So you can see Dursey in the bottom left corner there. Deneau's off screen in the top left. And then there's Velarde, Moore, and Byfield. I have been hounding most of these guys all season, if not, the entire playoffs so far. We know what Dursey can do. He quarterbacks the second power play line. He needs to step up and do more in the playoffs and stop making more mistakes. I really think he is the second best D on the team, but he needs to start showing it more. And then Deneau, honestly, he hasn't been doing too much at the end of the season, and then I don't think he's doing strong enough performance in the playoffs so far. And then the same thing with Moore. Ever since coming back from injury from the Christmas break, he hasn't been the guy we needed him to be. But Velarde came in game 2, got a goal. It was a sweet goal. And then here he gets an assist. It was a great pass. And I think Velarde's playing great. But Byfield, Moore, Deneau, and Dursey, they need to step up in the series. Because it's not a, top player wins all. Kopi, Kempe, Arvidsson, Doughty. Even Doughty actually needs to work on his game too. But, the top players can't be the only ones scoring. And I think both the Kings and the Oilers need to work on that. Because, honestly, if Draisaitl and the other top 6 forwards are the only ones scoring, there's no way that the Oilers are going to win. There's no way the Kings are going to win if Kopi's the only one, and Kempe are the only one scoring. It goes both ways. And I think both teams need to really work on things. But regardless of that, the controversial play with Velarde and his high stick, I've seen the replays. I've heard what the NHL has to say, and honestly, there is no conclusive evidence that the Velarde touched the puck. And like I told some other people, the only person who will ever know is Velarde himself. And whether he did or didn't, the play continued, and the Kings worked for it, and they got their goal. So, if as an Oilers fan, then you guys are mad, then that's unfortunate. But as a Kings fan, I'm happy. I'm happy that we got the game winner. But I can see why you're upset. However, just like in the first game with I believe it was Desjardins, he tripped Lizotte. Lizotte did not trip over the broken stick. And so, you guys can say it's controversial, but the league does look at it, and it is, conclusive. Like I said, refs are there for a reason. They make the game flow and keep it in check, and what they say goes. And if fans aren't happy with that, well, that's unfortunate, but this is the way the game is played. So, to be honest, I don't think Velarde touched the puck, but that's up for debate, obviously. Either way, Kings win 3-2 and take the series lead 2-1. So we'll see what happens in Game 4. Just like after Game 1, I said the Oilers would come out with a fire, and I expect that in Game 4. To be honest, I think the Oilers will come out swinging and start throwing some body checks, heavy body checks into the Kings. Like I said before, that's how they they get on the Kings' skin, under the Kings' skin, and that's how they're going to win the game. And if the Kings can keep their emotions in check and don't take undisciplined penalties, which there were a few in this game from both sides, then I think whoever's the most disciplined will win the game. Honestly, this is a very close-knit matchup, and I know that around the entire league, outside of the Rangers-Devils game today, that I actually have not kept up the score with. They should be playing right now. Actually, the game might actually be over by now, but unless the Rangers lose to the Devils, every team in the league every series in the league is going to be 2-1 by the end of tonight. And I felt that was kind of interesting because, like, wow, there is no real clear-cut winners out here. And so, coming into the series, I was like, this is a really good matchup for the Kings. I think we have a chance, just like the Oilers. I think they have a chance, and who knows who will win? Who knows who will take it? So we'll see in Game 4, and so on and so forth. And I think both teams have a chance and are playing really good hockey. Kings are definitely on the lower end of it. I think the Oilers have the edge, but we'll see what happens. But who knows? You guys have any opinions? You guys want to talk to me about it? You guys think I'm wrong? Feel free to leave a comment down below, and if I'll reply if you guys want to ask any questions or talk about that play. Otherwise, I guess I'll leave it right here, and I'll look forward to breaking down the next game. If you guys like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you have not yet. I am starting to put out a little bit more content than I have in the past, start of the year, and I hope to do so going forward. These are just some of the things I want to look into, and some other controversial plays hopefully as well. As of yesterday, there weren't as many as the first couple of days, so that's good. I think that's good for the league, and I think it's good for the game that there isn't as much controversy going on. Obviously, this OT winner was, but like I said, it is what it is. So we'll see what happens going forward. Otherwise, let's just keep playing good hockey and hopefully have a good series end. To be honest, that's all I want. It's good hockey. It's all fun for me, and as a fan, I just like to watch it all and just study it all. I mean, I'm not saying I'm an expert or anything, but I do love the game. I do like to analyze it in my own way, and if you guys have any problems with that, that's your issues, not mine. I just saying what I feel like, my opinions and stuff like that. So I know that one of my other videos, there was a guy who lashed out at me, said my video was the worst on YouTube. I don't care. If you have a problem with me, that's your problem. I don't really care. I'm just putting out my opinion. So if you have a problem with that, no worries. I'm not gonna hate you for that. Just it is what it is. So alright, I'll leave this one here, and stay tuned for the Game 4 breakdown. See you guys in the next video.